This is gonna be my first attempt of doing a knitting podcast video. I'm quite nervous, so be kind to me. I've got my iPad here for notes because you need to be planned and structured, I think, for like a knitting podcast video. So I'm gonna try do this in a way that isn't chaotic, but I guarantee it's gonna be chaotic because that's the type of person I am. I'm just a very unplanned person. I'm not very good at it. So I just take it one step at a time and I'll try to take it slow. First of all, as it says in my notes, introduce yourself. I'm Zoe. I've been knitting since 2023, but it wasn't until last year, 2025, that knitting really hit me, I guess. I don't know what to say, but like, I got the knitting spark. I caught the bug last year and I've not looked back. I've also been knitting, no, wrong. I've also been crocheting for like 4 years, I think. So yarn's nothing new in my life. I've always loved it. I've loved making things. Just, yeah. I'm still learning with knitting, but that's what makes knitting enjoyable. There's always something to learn. That's my favourite part about it. So my first project that I'm going to show you today is a current whip. It's the Frankie sweater baby by the pattern's by PetiteKnit, and this is made in leftover acrylic yarn that I had lying around. So I've got like a maroon and a pink, and it's a raglan construction and it's stripy. It's so cute. I'm obsessed with like what I've done at the bottom. It's like the bottom's meant to be, as the pattern says, just in your main colour, but I thought it would be so cute to add in the extra stripe there, and I did a rook bind off as well with that, so it looks so cute. But yeah, this is going to be for my niece who is due in May. I'm so excited. Auntie Judy's. I already have 2 nieces, but Auntie Judy's. French kiss. Obsessed. And then before doing this one, I already had the pattern because I made this one for her as well. And this is just a plain one that, so like no stripes. And this is, of course, also the Frankie sweater baby. And I did a little duplicate stitch flower. There we go. I'm still trying to get neat with duplicate stitch, but it's adorable. And it keeps curling up here. I'm gonna have to like steam it, but this is acrylic yarn as well. So yeah, and actually this one's a centimetre longer because I accidentally did that and I couldn't be bothered going back. So it's meant to be the same size, just one is longer. It's the best way to do it. Like that. But I don't think it makes any difference. It's only a centimetre. And oh well. So these are both like the newborn size. So I am prepared of the fact this is why I always wanted to go for acrylic. It's affordable. The baby's gonna grow out of it instantly and it's just gonna be a doll's toy clothes afterwards anyway. So yeah. 2 little Frankie sweaters. Excited. Anyways, back to my notes. Other finished objects that I've had is I was on a test knit for Beacreativeknits and I did the Wavelength cardigan. I'm not currently able to show you it because it was a gift from my boyfriend and he's currently out wearing it. He's actually been wearing it so much. I'm obsessed. The whole pattern was amazing. I loved it. I definitely want to make one for myself, but I need to think colours. And I need to also think about the fact that it's going to take me a while because the one that I made for Shane took me 3 months. And I know that's quite fast for knitting in terms of that scale, but like it was a test knit. it was something that I always had my focus on, and I know that if I were to do it for myself, I'm going to take my time with it, because it was quite sore on my wrist because it was a cable pattern with a cable needle. And I also dropped down a needle size or two. I went basically working with 3.5mm needles, so not only was the size larger than what I would usually make for myself, it was 2XL, and I was doing 3.5 millimeter needles, and it was cables. I'm surprised that thing's finished, honestly, but I'm obsessed with it. It's definitely the best thing that I've ever made to date, and I will show you a picture of it here or here, I don't know. I'll figure that one out later, but so obsessed with it. It was made with drops Nepal, and this is in the color Olive Mix, and it's a beautiful yarn. I think I want to make my own one or another cardigan with this yarn. I love it so much. It's so good for like showing off the cables as well. But yeah, as I said, it was a test knit. With test knits there is trial and error. I struggled with the sleeves of the project, but B, who is so lovely and so on it, she managed to like change it so it's totally charted. It was like written instructions before using a chart, and my brain just couldn't compute how it was working. But the chart is so much better. It was so easy to follow once it was completely charted, and from then, after that, I recommend the pattern, because for a pattern that looks complicated, it's so well written that it doesn't feel complicated, if that makes sense. I would definitely recommend it. It is out now. It was released like a couple of days ago, so definitely do it. If you're thinking about doing it, do it, because it's a gorgeous pattern and it's versatile as well. You can change the collar. I did like a folded collar, but if I were to do it for myself rather than for my partner, I would have it so that, I actually don't know what the collars are called now that I'm thinking about it. Folded collar would be the one that I would want. Polo collar? So I made a polo collar for Shane, and then I want to do like a normal like folded collar. You know what, I'll add pictures of that too. So this is the polo color, this is the color I want. Yeah, that's another one for me to figure out later, because this is my first video that I'll be editing. Ooh. Okay, back to my notes, because they're keeping me right. I really enjoyed the experience of test knitting. It was in a group, we had a group chat on Instagram, and if you struggled with something, other people there would be helping you out, and B also was very on it, like making sure that her testers were understanding everything, and then when there was things that needed to be fixed, she was fixing them so quickly. Because I was doing a larger size, and obviously if you're doing a smaller size you're going to be knitting a little bit quicker, or getting through the steps quicker. So by the time people with the smaller garment sizes were finding the mistakes, because I was doing a larger size and slower than everyone else, everything was already done. Like, I didn't have to bring things up. And that's kind of the point with test knitters, that they help the designer find mistakes, or not even mistakes, but a lot of it could be the explanation of it. But no, B was amazing at explaining everything in her pattern, and when her next pattern comes out, the Tutti Frutti like top that she's done, I'm gonna do that. It looks so cute. It's so cute. I'm gonna do that. And because I know what her writing style and what her patterns look like now, I'm definitely gonna go for her patterns, because I had a very positive experience. So yeah, that's the Wavelength sweater. Oh, I also released my own pattern this month. It's a free water bottle pattern and it's kind of like a scrap yarn project. It's getting 2 DK weight strands of yarn and like putting them together to make a chunky knit hot water bottle. And yeah, I've got one here that I was working on and it's on pause. So this is it. It's called the Double It Up water bottle pattern, and yeah, it's just 2 strands of DK weight yarn, and then it's going to be a different kind of colour here from the blue that's up here because I ran out of that yarn, and that's the point of the project. So yeah, it's kind of cute. So that pattern is available for free on my Ravelry, which I'll link below for you to look at. Yeah, what else have I got on my little notes here? This is my first time doing this, I'm sure in other videos the process will probably be better. Probably not though, because it's me. Also this month, oh, I'm still gonna have to go back to the Wavelength. Wait, I'm all over the place. Let's move on to acquisitions. Oh my god, I forgot my socks. Right, pause. Okay, fear not, I am back. I have another finished object. How could I forget? I've got socks. A pair of socks that I still need to weave the ends in, but have worn multiple times. These are the rib socks patterned by Tuva Sandok, I think is how you say her name. And this yarn is West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply yarn. It's my favourite yarn ever. And this is in the colourway Silent Night, and it's a sparkly kind of yarn. It's gorgeous, and look, it's stretchy because it's ribbing all throughout. It's a beautiful pattern. I think Tuva's patterns are so well written. Like, I've struggled with socks for so long. I actually bought this yarn last year to follow a sock pattern, and I just put it down because I couldn't compute it in my head. And this is the first pattern that I've managed to do and like not completely struggle with. It's so well written and all the steps are broken down, and if you are struggling with techniques, they're also explained, which is brilliant. Great sock pattern for beginners. Definitely recommend. And they fit so nicely. Love them. I've actually made this sock pattern before. I did it, I think, just before Christmas. And it was in a James C. Brett like yarn, and it was why can't I speak? It was pink. The socks were pink, but these ones are blue and they're actually so cute. I'm gonna show my feet. But they're so cute. Is that fluff or is that the yarn? No, that is the yarn. I've got blue toes. But yeah, they're actually stunning. Look at that. This is so weird, but yeah. I can't believe I almost forgot that. And then from here, I'm actually going to go back to the Wavelength cardigan for like a second whilst we move over to the acquisitions part of the video. And then with that, I'm also going to go back to the socks because I went to Amsterdam this month with my mum. It was like a little trip just before Mother's Day, and these socks were my pattern that I took on holiday. It was a nice pattern to just knit on the plane and then knit around and about in Amsterdam. And then when I was in Amsterdam, I was looking for buttons for the Wavelength cardigan, and I went to this gorgeous button shop that had loads of buttons, the most buttons I've ever seen in my life. I'm actually going to show a video here or here, I don't know, but look at this. This was the button that I had for Shane's cardigan. Stunning. I don't even know if you can see if it's focusing, but it's gorgeous. This is my spare button. Right, can you see the vision? Can you see the vision? Gorgeous. So yeah, that's that acquisition. This is all over the place. I'm actually looking at another project that I'm working on that also falls into the acquisition part of this. I planned this out on my iPad tab structure and I've just thrown it away and like disregarded it, but another acquisition is this baby yarn. I'm currently crocheting a baby blanket for my niece. It's a corner to corner sort of crochet project, and I love corner to corner blankets. It's one of my favorite things to crochet. Like, I think I like crochet for different reasons that I like knitting. I like to knit garments and I like to crochet blankets and toys. So that is so nice that they're two totally separate things for me. And I never have to struggle of which one I want to do, it's just what project I want to do. But yeah, it's going to be building up. So it starts here, then it grows bigger, and then once you get to the halfway point, so when I finish this yarn, because I've just got 2 balls of yarn, I'm gonna start decreasing in the same way, so then it'll be just a giant square. But yeah, obsessed. And got the other one here. And this is being worked up on a 4mm hook, my trusty hook. If I lose it, it's fine, I have a million others. Last time I did a blanket, I actually lost my hook and I was on a time crunch, I think, for my own stupid reasons, because I actually didn't have a deadline. I just really wanted to finish it quickly to see that I could finish it quickly, and I got frustrated that I couldn't find my hook. And it's a day that me and my boyfriend talk quite often for how overdramatic I was being. But anyways, another acquisition is actually the yarn for this jumper. It's baby yarn, and then both of these I got from Cancer Research, the charity shop, because they've got really good baby yarns in my opinion. So yeah, here they are. I actually started the Frankie sweater in this yarn and didn't like how the colour striping was working, so I swapped yarns. And then I think finally, if I've not forgotten anything else, my next acquisition, I just got through the door like less than an hour ago, and it's Drops Air, and this is colour number 7, and basically I'm going to be knitting a kind of chunky, flowy, airy cable cardigan, and a pattern has just been released on Tuva Sandok's website, so I'll show a picture here. I'm gonna be following that, and basically my idea is to meet gauge is to put 2 strands of Drops Air together. You know what, I actually made a gauge swatch, but not in this colour. I'm gonna be right back. So when deciding what yarn I wanted to use, I thought about Drops Air, but it's not the recommended yarn for the pattern. So I put 2 strands of Drops Air together to meet the gauge, and it's fairly close. I think I'm like slightly off, but it'll be fine because I think it'll be more oversized, so more cozy. But yeah, this is kind of the swatch that I've got for it. It's gonna be kind of chunky cables, and it's gonna be all one colour for mine, which is nice, but it's nice that I got to have a little swatch. Obsessed. I'm so excited. And I'll need to find buttons again for this project. You know what, I think that's it. Is it? Let me check my notes on my iPad that I threw away. I think that's it. This has been chaos. I will get better at planning. I swear I wrote everything down and just disregarded it. But that's my knitting podcast, my first knitting podcast. And you know what? We could talk about what we're planning for April. Well, I just told you. Oh no, I'm gonna end it here. Goodbye. Thank you for watching my podcast. If you liked the chaos of this video, please subscribe. My next video, I'm gonna try be strict with myself, and I'm gonna do a project vlog for the cardigan, and I'm gonna try stick to it. I've actually tried to like start project vlogs and just don't stick to it, so I'm gonna try this time. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this cardigan. Right, it's April the 1st today. It's April Fool's Day. And I've not knitted anything for myself since my sailor slippers that I knitted in, I think, November for myself. I'm so excited to knit something for myself.